Unless of course you're doing educational, because I think like educational is different. Like if you're trying to figure out whether you're into, foot
that or the other
fetish or something, and you don't want to go out and try that on people and mess around, then you watch a whole bunch of it,
videos to sort of see whether it's inspiring.
get to the level, like learn whether you like it or not, move on. But be very sort of like, I guess, structural about it, be structural about it, like make decisions around like, oh yeah, okay, let's see if I can that's why I think I want to bring up that thing about like where if you're trying to figure out something about your sexuality, and I want to say not your,
or your preference,
not your born sex or your nothing, I mean your how you want to fuck things, or be fucked, right? Then I really feel that what's amazing about, like, so porn is like all this negative, and I've talked about this once on Cheep before, but maybe there's a more refined version of that, and where porn is actually an amazing resource. People, I know that a lot of people are harmed in it. I know people are harmed, and people choose to be harmed in it. There's a lot of like actual emotional and like whatever spiritual or like level of harm that comes from being in porn. I'm not putting a special voice on, but it's fucking real. Like it's real. Like, but spiritual, whatever you want to call that, emotional, physical harm. People get like all weird shit. The things that happen to men, and let alone women, like what happens to fucking women, but like what happens to men is grotesque. Like for them to continue. All of that aside, just so I'm aware that just so I'm really clear that I'm aware of what happens in what the porn industry is about. But also that instead of being this weird, like, like let's you hear your mum and your dad in this, thumping noise, and you don't really know what that's about. Is he hurting mum? Like that sounds like mum's is she liking that or is she being hurt? You're looking at dad the next day, you hurt mum last night. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever, or you're literally come out into the thing and there's an orgy and then, your dad's like sucking, like whatever, like, and it's like, oh, it's all about that, and, but then it's kind of this, no, don't talk about the thing in a weird, and I saw a strange book and here's a tit, and versus that, it's like, here's everything. Here's everything. Movies, no, here's all the things, and the front page of the most crazy shit, like, and I guess what I mean there is the value of porn. That's the sort of, I'm trying to still painting everything negative, is that actually, then if you do have a thing and you wonder about a thing, you can go and look up that thing, and even if it's only a few videos or maybe there's more videos or whatever, unless it's literally harming people, you can fucking find it.
You can, exactly.
And then you can have a little bit of a touch of yourself and see if you get into it. And if you want to, you can make yourself get into it, by specifically, intentionally and choosing to. And it's all there for you to fucking move your sexual experience and preference of desires through. Because, and so the whole availability of porn, while it is negative and it's a fucky industry and it hurts a lot of people.
Well, it's actually like
it's
I said,
also
underrated.
It's incredibly amazing.
It is a tool for determining what your preferences are.
And even like, I want to say this, and this is pretty twisted, and I'm going to accept what the reality, and it's also not, it's not twisted at all, right? Is that, that the front page of Pornhub or X-Hamster or X-Videos or whatever has got incest porn all over it. Stepdad fucks daughter. Right?
It is like primed for that.
It is primed. At the same time,
that's why I do not have a problem with saying motherfucker site. Because when you look at the porn sites, that's pretty much what the front page is.
The front page is the motherfucker. Yes. Right. However, also if you are 12 and someone, you heard about porn, or you're 9 or whatever it is, and you're 9, about porn, on the chat at school, my fucking brother told me, and then you get the thing, and then you see stepdad fucks son, and then you think,
shitless, man.
No,
what the fuck?
Well, you're scared shitless, and also when the stepdad does come in, or the dad, you know what it is.
Aware.
And you're like,
educated.
You're not fucking me. Well, you know what it means. And this is literally coming out of my head right now. I have not thought this before. and actually, you know what? It kind of, I want to say that in a grotesque way, it protects people and children in particular against things that otherwise would be how do you as a parent talk
deal
about
with a situation
sexual abuse?
You've never seen it or dealt with it
Well,
before.
how do you as a parent talk to them? Like I've tried to talk to my kids about like,
I know. It's not an easy subject to
and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. I can talk about it. They're the ones that don't want to talk about it.
I know. They're ultimately embarrassed by it. They're like, I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear you're an old person. They want to hear it from their friends or their colleagues or their peers.
Porns, it's like when I say, that thing like on the porn site where the thing's doing the thing, that's not cool.
No, it isn't cool.
And so maybe actually like it's a resource. I'm trying to point out that that porn is actually like a cultural resource that we are misunderstanding and misusing.
Creating a fear in people.
And it actually should be where like, am I trans?
Be wary of a situation or circumstance. Exactly.
Do I want to be a thing? I'd really would that be really cool if I could do that? And then you go and look at someone doing that and you're like, oh no, that's not me actually.
That's not for me. That's right. You make a choice.
Like I can see like someone being like a puppy dog or something like that, like and it's like being cute.
Well,
but then when someone like slaps them, but when someone slaps them, like I just turn that shit off. Like I couldn't even. But that's informative. Like would I or would I not know that? Now in my own head, I might be able to make up that I think that slapping a person's cool. Yeah, maybe I could.
If there's two consenting adults and
no, not the two consenting adults. No, I'm not talking about two consenting. I'm talking about my head in my bed myself. I could think up that maybe slapping someone was cool. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have a delusion.
Yeah, totally. Like because I don't even know what it means. I don't know what it means. Maybe I don't, but I do know what it means. So I have my own. That's not personally me. I'm just using it as an example.
As an example, that's right.
And so the thing about porn is like then you go to that thing and then you're seeing someone being hit.
Yeah.
People say that's
it
objectifying.
Creates an acceptance.
Well, no, but also the opposite. No, But also the opposite. No, but I actually want to wager that also the opposite more, where then the person actually feels disgust. Like if you take a kid, and I want to say this because when I was running, I had an internet cafe, when I had an internet lounge in Brisbane. And this only happened like once or twice. But in those early days where like...
you had to show off the youngins that were looking at naughty stuff. Yeah.
No, the opposite.
Okay.
What would happen is no one was looking up naughty stuff. They were doing some other not nefarious thing, but being naive and ended up in a porn bomb. You know, when it used to like the windows, 100 windows would open. And they didn't even know what was happening. Now adults would like be going, they start clicking more. Like, they'd be doing it more, right? Where the child would go, something's gone, this doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just go, sorry, and solve that shit.
Yeah.
So children, I think, children are way more like, if they're able to be in control, they won't, like, they'll go and explore. Like, like you'll go and put the piece of Drano in your mouth. You'll put a bit of Drano.
Little radar going on about what they want and what they don't want to see.
Yeah, they do. Where adults will keep...
Oh, they freak the hell out.
They'll keep watching it. He was putting his dick in his pen.
It keeps getting more of them. Keep trying to click on the dick. Click on the penis and it keeps popping up more penises.
Why did you click on the dick? I kept clicking on the dick.
I thought if I clicked on it, it would go away. Click on it hard enough, fast enough. I do it to my husband. I click on his dick and it just disappears, mate.
In seconds.
In seconds. Click it hard, mate, with the frozen spoon.
Yeah. So, also as a child, my parent, my mother, explained a lot about, like, she didn't like go to deep sexual stories.
No.
But she gave me the books like, where did you come from? Where did you come from? Where are we going?
Everyone got them as a kid,
Well, in the day they did. And also like a book of sex positions, like just like a very bland black and white.
This is the missionary. This is
yeah. That wasn't when I was a kid. That was a little bit later, like 10, 11, 12.
Suitable. Sex ed. Your parents are responsible for that sort of stuff, and you do your best.
But a lot of people know they don't know how to do it. But I think like there was these things, and there would be sort of, but then the bit that she didn't explain, like all those in the era I grew up in, all of those resources were heterosexual, just to use the basic term, cis or whatever. They were on this side, like they were between
good Christian values. That's right.
They were between a plus and a negative, positive negative system, to create the loops, to create new life,
More babies.
Yep. And so while I understood all of that, I didn't understand about homosexual, or anything else. Same sex, right? So then when I was like, where I was weak and therefore was susceptible to people doing negative things to me, wasn't
because you didn't know enough about that other aspect. That's right.
And then when I was
you were made gullible because of your
I didn't understand what was happening, right? And at the moment when I was like in Brisbane, and I was with my dad and we were watching this SBS program, and I'm like 13 or whatever, and I go, oh, what then? And it's about, like I've told you the story before, but like this New Zealand movie, the guy's on the streets, ends up selling his body for drugs. He's on drugs, he sells his body. I'm like, what's that? I say to my dad, what's that? And he goes, you don't know what that is? I'm like, the only man does this to a man. And I was just like, and I just sat on the couch nodding. I remember nodding. I'm like, you know what I mean? Right.
Yes. See, this was never discussed. That's right.
And then that enabled me to protect myself by the time I was 14. And literally for my 14th birthday, I didn't go around to that person's place and didn't get sexually assaulted.
Yes.
And
because you'd made your own conscious decision that...
Well, I had the fucking information. I knew what was happening. It had a word. I could describe it to my brain,
Yes.
I could have something to push against and say no to, because I didn't feel good.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't, and what I'm saying is about porn is that you can see that thing and then you don't have any confusions around what's happening
you can
when
make
the person comes in.
Decision on what you've
and the thing about
want to continue looking or not. That's right.
And I think that the thing where the parent can't describe it is,
well, maybe they can't describe it because they haven't experienced it in
also it's a taboo. Like the things that hurt us are unspoken in our society.
They don't really have anything to say about it.
In our society, the things that hurt us are the things that are still unspoken.
Or, however they were raised. Yeah.
And I want to speak the unspeakable because...
Well, that's what we're here to do, buddy.
Yeah, that's what the Cheep's about, man.
Cheep's fucking, we discuss the unspeakable and we're not afraid about it. It's got to be talked about.
It does. And it's got nothing to do with validating or, trying to say nothing.
It's just things that need to be talked about that normally isn't. So, best get on with it.
Best
get on with it. That's right.